Seeing it another time does not make it any clearer or make any more sense to me now that I've seen it. Like, I still am not sure exactly what I saw. Because I know what it wasn't. What that wasn't was some extracurricular activity at the end of the game between two teams that hate each other's guts, where a couple of guys are jawing, maybe a punch or two are thrown. That's not what that was. That was Myles Garrett ripping Mason Rudolph's helmet off his head and then weaponizing it and cracking him in said head with said helmet and damn near braining him with it. And yes, there was a lot more that happened after the fact. Suspensions have already come down. I will tell you about them in a minute. And there was more, like Steelers center Maurkice Pouncey throwing haymakers and then kicking Garrett. But this is not about that. This is about whatever the hell that was that preceded that. The league is cracking down on helmet-to-helmet hits. But nobody ever thought about cracking down on hitting a guy with his own helmet hits. Because that's never happened, at least not at that level. Myles Garrett must have missed the seminar on player safety. Then again, I'm not sure there was a breakout session on not smashing guys in the head with their own helmets. Hitting a guy without a helmet is one thing. Hitting a guy with his own helmet is another. That's next level. I've seen a lot of football in my time, but I've never seen a guy rip off another dude's helmet and then beat said guy with his own helmet. I'm sorry. I'm still blown away by the fact that a guy took off another guy's helmet and then smashed him with it. That's mind-blowing. It's awful. It's inexcusable, and it is stunning. And that is not just one of those things. That's not just something that happens. That's not one of those heat-of-the-moment things, or one of those, unless you've lined up and played the game at the highest level, you just don't get it things. Because pretty much nobody who's currently playing the game at the highest level or used to play the game at the highest level gets that or tried to defend that, because you can't. That's something you joke about. That's like, yo, man, I'll rip your helmet off and I'll beat you with it, yo. Except that's exactly what Myles Garrett did. He actually did it. And no, this is not one of those deals where I say, I'm not going to rush in. I'm not going to judge because I wasn't there. I don't know what was said. I don't know what precipitated that. I mean, that's all true. I wasn't there. I don't know what was said. I don't know what precipitated it. I just don't give a damn. Or who, quote, started the fight. See, I don't care about the context. I've seen the suggestion that Rudolph may have done something to him when they were on the ground. Maybe he did. But if he did, whatever it was, it still does not justify ripping off a guy's bonnet and then assaulting him with it. And Garrett's teammate Baker Mayfield sure didn't seem to think so himself when he was asked about it on the field right after the game. Actually, he's right. We do not know how long he's going to be suspended. He has already been suspended. I will have that note for you in a moment. Going back to Baker Mayfield for a second, though, I think he handled that really well. Given everything that had just gone down and the fact that they won a big game and then his teammate went brain dead and did one of the dumbest things ever, Baker handled that really well. Freddie Kitchens also after the game was not looking to make excuses. He doesn't want an excuse. We're not giving him an excuse. So Baker handled that well, I thought, on the field. The coach was pissed, and so were Garrett's teammates. Odell Beckham Jr. called it, quote, dumb. Beckham said, quote, for what direction we're headed in for this organization, it just was not where we've been going. It does feel like we lost the game. End of quote. All right, so again, what's the punishment that fits the crime? What is the punishment that fits the crime? There's not a manual that you can pull out and say, unsportsmanlike conduct, 15 yards. Smashing a guy with his own helmet, 6 games. There isn't that. But the league's got to do something, right? And the league has got to act swiftly, and the league does not want that narrative and that conversation to run amok and run out of control. So the league has come down. According to Adam Schefter, Myles Garrett has been suspended indefinitely. An indefinite suspension. We don't know how long that is, just indefinitely. They moved in quickly. Defensive tackle, Larry Ogunjobi, gets a 1-game suspension. Steelers center Maurkice Pouncey, who came to the defense of his quarterback, gets suspended for 3 games. That according to Adam Schefter. So Garrett suspended indefinitely. Pouncey gets 3 games. And very clearly, the league had to do something quickly to make a statement. Those of you looking for a lifetime ban for Garrett, that's not going to happen. In fact, we're not even sure how long it's going to be. But what that is kind of a placeholder. Like they jump in there, they make the statement, they suspend him, and that kind of changes the narrative a little bit. They had to do something. It's a smart move by the league. What that does is it makes a statement and it buys them some time. It makes a statement, it buys them time until they can make an actual decision. They had to do something. CBS's Will Brinson says that Garrett has been suspended indefinitely without pay, quote, at minimum for the remainder of the regular season and postseason, and also fined, quote, an additional amount. So according to Will Brinson, that's just in. The remainder of the regular season and the postseason and fined as well. Obviously, you're going to see those images and you're going to see the video and it's going to run over and over and over again. And it's going to stick to Garrett forever. The league had to do something quickly and they did. They had to. Telephone number is toll free, 1-800-636-8686. I do have more thoughts on that. And they did win the game, but when does a win feel like a loss when something like that happens? Because that can't happen. It just cannot happen. No matter what was said, no matter what was done, you can't rip off a dude's helmet and then smash him with it. Can you imagine what could have happened? As bad as that was, can you imagine how lucky they were that that was not so much worse? You imagine if he had hit him a certain way with that helmet, if he had maimed him perfectly or permanently, if he had killed a player by weaponizing that helmet?